back, you know what I'm saying? Episode 4. You know what I'm saying? Breakfast with the Jetsons. Your boy Trash, you know. I got Don here.
Yeah, they gonna be Don, aka Thon, aka I don't got no more names right now off the top of my head. But so check this out. It's episode 4, like I said, right? Or like you said. And let me start real quick before we go into this. Shout out to my brother Mark. He just had twins last week. You know what I'm saying? 2 boys, Miles and Micah. You know what I'm saying? They both healthy. Miles.
Oh, my bad. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, Miles just got home from the hospital yesterday. Mike gonna gain a couple more pounds and be home in a couple of days.
Okay. No, I want to give a shout out to Mike Waves, bro. He had a lovely daughter, you know what I'm saying?
He did. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Waves too, but I seen it on IG. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody having kids, bro.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? We got Mikey more in the back speaking of kids. He got one on the way. So you know what I'm saying? He trying to walk away, not claim it. But that's how you do.
My nigga shook his head when we said shout out to the kids. He was like, oh nah.
Oh, the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? You got my boy Smitty walking through, you know what I'm saying? He doing his coaching thing, you know what I'm saying? He ain't giving no shout out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look. So basically, you had a project about the other day, right?
I did.
Oh, called 7 Spades. You know what I'm saying? Produced by my nigga Jay. Mike Waves had what, 1 song produced on that?
Yeah. Well, Jay, he engineered it. Mike produced the intro, nevertheless, and you met Alex. Not that Alex, but the other Alex. Serpico Sam. He produced 6 of the 7. The last 6.
Okay, you got all 6 of them.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. Go get that. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all that, LimeWire, YouTube.
And for real, that shit's really good too, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I listened to that shit like 4 times yesterday. We got to join on there, you know what I'm saying?
Downtime.
You know what I'm saying?
Check that shit out too.
Yeah. It's a little flame. We got a little something for you.
Something.
Yeah, basically. But basically, what I wanted to roll off the back on that, you know what I'm saying? So we were basically talking about earlier the process of putting an album together. And what would be your process as an artist, you know what I'm saying, to put your album together? Because mine, I like to think mine's different, but when I bring it down to it, it's the same every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a couple tracks, and I put them in the order I want, and then once I have like 3 or 4, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep rolling off of this. You know what I'm saying?
I'd agree. For me, I kind of go along with that. Each album for me, or I'd say each project in general that I've done, it's kind of time period on that like point in my life. And just like this one was, you know what I'm saying? About me being 25, you know, finally growing up and shit, and just doing more adult shit, basically adulting. Like that transition of going from your early 20s, like, to, you know, having to be a fucking adult out here living and shit. But, like, for the process, kind of just go over a bunch of beats, bunch of melodies, bunch of, like, verses that I've written, just try to pile up the best collection of songs that I feel like would resonate with people and sound the best. That's kind of what I did with this one. I try to think of like how many I could get to keep your attention. Like I have 7 tracks with this one. I feel like that was a pretty decent number. I didn't want to go too little, too much.
Yeah. It was about 25 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. I try to think about not so much of selling to everybody, because not everybody's gonna like my shit, but the people I know that genuinely rock with my shit, I try to focus on them. Try to focus on the types of music they like. People close to me tend not to have the same like liking of music, so I just pick their brain on certain things they like, certain melodies, certain songs, and try to just work on my craft like on all cylinders, just beat selection, all that, writing, melodies.
Okay, so that's basically the same, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, like I said, I don't usually start working on projects for me until I feel inspired by something. I'm usually just writing a bunch of loosies and shit all the time. I got mad loosies in my phone, mad half songs, mad just 1 or 2 verses, but no actual song put together, you know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily start thinking I want to sit down and work on a project. And I guess for me, a project would be at least 5 or 6 songs compiled into something. I got a bunch of those on my phone too. And it's always usually gets sparked off of one big ass event. Usually something that makes me really mad. So if
mad music is the best.
Mad music is the best, man. And it's wild because I'll be really mad, But the music that I make, it would be more like some sad shit. Not even sad shit, just more like on some real vulnerable shit.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense? You know
No, definitely. I think that kind of, I don't know. For me, I feel you. That energy puts me in that space of like, you know, I don't even give a fuck. I just gotta get some shit out.
Yeah.
And just whatever it kind of manifests into. Like sometimes it'd be some dark depression shit. Sometimes it'd be uplifting shit. I'd be really mad, but I've tried to now recently not try to make so much dark depressing music.
Right.
Because I see how that can influence other people who listen to my music. So even if I'm in a dark space, I try to like focus on not necessarily making so much dark shit, but try to reuse that energy into something positive.
Yeah, I feel that. I be trying to do the same. I be like, I ain't gonna do the same shit today. But I be like, but that shit when I was talking about the other shit was kind of funny. So yeah, I was like, man, I ain't finna do all that. But I always end up going back to it. You know, I write music when I'm not going through those periods too. I'm always, you know, I write too when I'm uninspired. But, you know, I don't feel anything from that. Mm-hmm. I have mad throwaways because I just write when I'm uninspired. Because at the end of the day, that just really makes me a better rhymer.
I agree.
My mind at the end of the day. Because like I always say, anybody can rap. Like, if you just sit down and do it.
Yeah.
If you just keep sitting down and be consistent with it, anybody can rap. It's one of those things when they say, hard work beats talent and talent works hard. And that's kind of the true thing when it comes to something like hip-hop. If you just keep practicing, you'll get better. But just because you can become a better rapper, that doesn't mean you can become a better artist. Does that make sense?
Definitely makes sense.
You know,
and like, that's actually a good point, honestly, because I was thinking like, sometimes even when you're trying to become a better rapper, like what is becoming a better rapper? Like, is it just the lyrics? Like, is it overall song making? Is it?
No.
Like, so some people might not even be the best at the bars, but they can put together a song really well, and they're consistent enough to where they build like their own little core fan base.
100%. I think becoming a better rapper is being able to incorporate yourself into the raps more, like your own personality, being able to make the rhymes sound like you. The more identified with yourself you are with the rhymes, I think that makes it sound better. When you look at some of the best rappers, they're very easily identifiable. Mm-hmm. The Jay-Z, you know, Kanye, some of the biggest people consider the biggest rappers of all time. They're very unique just in themselves. They're very good at being themselves. You can't be this person better than they are at being themselves. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I say that's being a better artist. Because you can rap all day. You can say the best rhymes all day. There's many niggas out there that say dope ass rhymes, but you know, they ain't got no style or flavor behind it. So it's not really sticking to nobody like that. It's just something cool to look at for the time being, but you're not really going back to it like that, you know.
What you gonna say?
I forgot. I got that right. Yeah. We usually have it.
I was my bad.
Yeah, you good.
I was gonna say, what's your opinion on like the idea of making sure you have replay value in your albums and projects?
Well, okay. What would be? I guess it depends on what people's opinion of replay value is, or definition of replay value. For me, replay value, it doesn't mean like what's the name was saying earlier? He was saying replay value is when, like, you know, every song on the album is good or whatever. Yeah. That's not replay value to me personally. For me, replay value is if I can come back to your album in a year, 2 years, 5 years, and it's still bumping.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, that's replay value is when it.
I feel like it's a combination. Like, I feel like the time period of you just dropping within like over a course of months, I feel like replay value is something that's gonna make me want to come back to that, like through that time period, and like even past that, just occasionally coming back to that. But it doesn't have to necessarily be that thing that everyone goes back to. Just like, I think that's something that's always gonna be like a personal, like, fan's opinion on.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Because you got a lot of albums to me or to us that probably was like, nah, that's not replay value. But you know, there's other things that are like, but even 5, 6, 7 years later, I'm still bumping that shit.
No, yeah.
You know, a lot of albums for me that's not like that, but there's a lot of albums for me that is like that. You know what I'm saying? I still listen to fucking Lupe Fiasco's The Cool and Food and Liquor. Those two great replay value albums. Most of the albums from a lot of artists I listened to growing up have a good replay value because that's just kind of the type of music they were making back in the day. I think streaming has kind of ruined the art of replay value music because it's moving so fast. It just
it's 50-50 in my opinion. I think it hurt it, but it helped it in a way because some artists, I think they strategically do things to make it streaming and make it have more replay value, like making songs shorter, like sticking to more melodic, not putting too many words in. Like they're literally putting a formula together of it to make sure you get that replay value. Like I thought about that with Tierra Whack's album, because I was just thinking of just how many times that album gets streamed because it's such a short. That album's like 15 minutes because it's like a minute like long song for each. So it's like, if you think about it, that's gonna get more streams than somebody versus like having an hour-long album. But it also depends on like the bigger artist you are. Because the bigger artist you are, probably the more music people are gonna want, and you're gonna have to put one.
Yeah, but the thing is, with streams and stuff like that, it's so easy to access for everybody. So yeah, it would get more streams. But say if it came out back when people were doing physical albums more, if everybody had bought that physical album and just bought it once, and then she toured off that, you think she would have made more money?
I don't know.
If she sold that album sold, let's say $10 to $12 a piece, which is probably what the average album was back in the day when CDs were doing all that shit. Say she sold that album for $11, and that album did, let's just say it went platinum. We'll say that. I don't know how many streams she has on that album.
If the album was platinum, then yeah. I'm thinking of if we don't have streaming right now. If we don't have streaming right now, and she has to come out on a CD, I think no, because it's not as her music wouldn't be as accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's not as big as she should be.
Right.
Like as far as everyone knowing who she is, she's still like in like the beginning stage of people starting to know who she is and her music.
I think, but here's the thing. So somebody streaming the album versus somebody physically buying a CD of your album. I wish you had a comparison of what that was, because that would make this conversation a lot easier.
Hell yeah.
If we could compare somebody streaming your album one time versus somebody just buying a physical copy of your album one time, this wouldn't even have to be a conversation. We could just crunch some numbers real quick and boom. Okay, physical copies or whatever, streaming is more, I know streaming is not worth more than somebody buying a physical copy of your album. But we would at least have a better idea of the numbers. And I think that would make certain artists move differently, which is why that's probably one of those things to keep it a secret.
Well, it's like, I think for Spotify, don't kill us Spotify, our podcast on Spotify, set us paid on Spotify, don't kill us for saying this, but it's like for Spotify, it's like 0.0012 cents for one stream.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure like 1 million streams of anything is like $4,000. So it's different if you have it, you sell 1 million for $10, $10 or $11, because you that's complete different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as a CD and a stream. But I think it's all in what you're looking for. Like in her case, like Tierra Whack case, and having a shorter album, it's more accessible and it's quicker to listen to. So I feel like you can reach more people versus like the CD. Okay. And putting that much effort into 15 minutes of music for making CDs. Like that's a lot.
That is true.
But I think it's situational, like that. Like a lot of artists wouldn't do that. Like 15-minute like project. Like, a lot of people wouldn't do that. Yeah. That was outside of the box. That's just
I can see that. But yeah, but at the same time, that's just another definition of people adapting to the streaming era. So yeah, I can see that. I guess if back in the day she were to drop a CD or an actual CD, that would most likely be probably close to an hour of music or something like that, just on average of how long albums were back in the day. But yeah, I guess I can see that. But there's no but to that. I'm just used to saying that. Really. So for real, I want to say, I guess we can kind of piggyback off that real quick.
Okay.
So horrible segue, but we're talking about as creators or as artists. You've been in relationships before, right? And I basically want to say, how do you navigate through those relationships as an artist versus if you're dating somebody that's in school or somebody that's trying to get their life moving on, but they don't necessarily understand the things you're doing, or not that they don't understand, but they might not low key believe in it. You know what I'm talking about.
No, definitely. I feel like at some point you have to reach of understanding, because that person doesn't understand what you do and how you get your income and your plan and your vision, like you're gonna sound fucking crazy. Like I don't know if anybody else like had that situation. Like Key, I know you talked about this topic earlier as far as like dating and being a creative. I was telling him just now. I feel like you have to be with someone who understands and gets what you're doing, because you're gonna sound insane. Like when you try to explain this vision to somebody, even if you map out the full like plan. Like I have a vision board. Like some people probably won't understand like the shit I'm talking about, especially like the language of just music in general, right, or just entertainment. But I don't know. What's your opinion on it?
I don't know. It was weird, like, cause like, it kind of got like this. I feel like growing up, it kind of got like this idea around it already. Mm-hmm. That it's already a challenge trying to balance that. Cause I mean, especially when you working like, you know what I'm saying, a 9 to 5, and then you also taking extra time to put into your craft, and then you still got to take some more extra time to you know what I'm saying, spend time with your family and things like that. Right. So it's like, yeah, it's a challenge, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then like, I know as far as like if you rap and you make R&B music or any kind of that, like I know early on women had certain perceptions on that. Like every time you in the studio, you just like, it's just like 10 jumps just naked walking around. And like, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm sure there's some R&B artists that, you know what I'm saying, that jump is that real, you know what I'm saying? And it's artists out here that at the studio jumping like that real, but it's like, yo, you could be loyal and you could be a creative and you could be out here just working on tour, on road, come back home, do all that. So it's like, that's just my opinion on it.
Nah, I feel that definitely, 100%. So I guess only thing I can speak of was the relationship I was in back when I was doing a lot of my rapping and shit, when I was first getting really into it. Mm-hmm. So when I was making, I would say my first full-length project when I was 19, I was dating a girl that was in college with the Christopher Newport University. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say her name, of course. But so I always specifically would try to not work on my craft around her or write my music and stuff around her or whatever. She was at school mostly, so we didn't even see each other. So, you know, in her eyes, I wasn't doing shit. I would be like, she would hit me up, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm working on this shit, I'm about to music, I'm at the studio, or whatever. She'd be like, okay, but like, when you going back to school? I was like, what the fuck you talking about? I was like, I'm working full time right now, I'm making this music right now. She's like, that's cool, but like, is you going back to school next semester? So, it was always like that at the end of the day. She never really thought that what I was doing at the end of the day was real work. So, at the end of the day, that shit ain't never worked out. And yeah, I would say it's just really hard for people that don't really into that artistry shit to really understand what we're doing at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's just not real work to them, it's hobbies. But they're just so used to working and not really having hobbies, or just not really having other shit that they're passionate about outside of their own jobs. Mm-hmm. So it's just really a life that they don't understand. So I can't be mad at her. I just should have expected her not to understand.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Jay, you being a family man, how would you say like that dynamic works as far as being a creator and being like in a family?
With this topic, and to build on what you were talking about, personally, I feel like it comes down to belief, for lack of a better term, and how much they believe in what you're doing, mm-hmm, as opposed to what they're doing. So like, with the school dynamic, that was that particular person's belief system, or what they understood to be a dynamic for what works. Mm-hmm. So it might not necessarily have been they didn't have hobbies, they didn't respect what you were doing, but what they were brought up on and to know and to understand, this is a better path. So indirectly, they might have been looking out for your best interest to them. It also comes to understanding, like with belief, then you want to understand about something. You want to know, you want to get that knowledge and feel how that person is feeling. So I think that all ties into it. So then, like, in the family dynamic or whatever dynamic, it's the belief in what the other person's doing. And then with belief also comes respect, because you're not going to believe in something you don't respect. So with that, it breeds a respect for what that person's doing. And that's how I see the shit. Just because, I don't know, especially in the family dynamic, it works out with understanding, communication, and shit like that. So
I feel that 100%. Yeah, 100%. I can definitely say my communication back in that day or around that time wasn't, the best as it could. I was 19. So,
absolutely.
ain't no way I could be the best communicator at 19. That wasn't what I was brought up on. Because I was brought up like her. I was brought up, my parents were on my back the same way. They were like, yo, when you going back to school, when you doing this? I was like, look, let me try this shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers, by the time they already saying they fuck with me and shit, they was like, give a fuck, but they ain't nothing real. So, but,
and that's the belief.
yeah, and I let that make me mad.
Because they don't believe.
My bad. I let that affect me back in the day, but at the same time, now looking back on it, I'm kind of stupid for expecting them to understand that based off of what they came up with.
How about you being stupid? Again,
I think
it's belief.
I think well, not stupid.
You believed it.
Yeah, I was just
it's not being stupid. It's you believed in it, and that other person did. You know, it's not stupidity on your part. It's just like you said, 19.
Yeah.
You know, people are at different stages in life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm giving it to the perspective of what I'm thinking now. You know, back when I was 19, I might have said some other shit like, yo, fuck it. You know, I didn't know.
Yeah, I feel that. You got any what the fuck you think about this? You saying something about this yet?
I mean, I started it.
I forgot.
I can close it, but I mean, I agree. I would just say the biggest thing, kind of along with the lines of Jason, and belief, and just having like that, somebody be a support system to what you're doing. You understand the amount of time that you put into certain things, hours, like realize this is actual work. Like some people are in that mind frame, like you say, of this shit is not that serious, but this is like almost like a fucking internship to be real. Like I work my 9-to-5 job, but I actually work and build something on my own, which is my craft of just art and just creating shit.
Right.
And you need somebody that's gonna be there to truly support you and understand what you gotta do. Not to a full magnitude of they know everything, but like they get some understanding of the shit that you have to do on a day-to-day basis as an artist.
Yeah, man, that's a blessing for real. Cause I ain't met nobody like that yet. So, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ain't been looking lately. I've been working on my shit. Like I said, last 2 years, y'all ain't even seen me. I've been locking myself up.
Also with that,
What's good with it?
you saying that you try to do it away from that other person. That also creates a disconnect in the belief. Because it's like, if you like it so much, why would you not want to show this person or any other person?
That's true. My thinking at the time was I want to do it away so I can have more time to be myself and her, you know what I mean?
But is that not you?
No, you're right. At the time, like I said,
Yeah,
I was not.
Yeah.
A lot of my ideas at the time weren't as clear as I'm looking at it today. You know
Absolutely. I keep just
But
questioning.
no, you're right. You're right, definitely. But nah, I ain't even getting that. Well, look, while we got all these motherfuckers in here very quick, we gonna move on very quick. So look, check us out. Last week or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever the last podcast was, I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so we've been doing these kind of rapper versus rapper things, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at this real quick. We thinking about best drug raps, best producers, and best squads. Pusha T, Rick Ross. Who got the best drug raps at the end of the day? We're gonna start with that.
Best drug raps.
I'm all Freddie Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs got better than both of them, in my opinion.
I mean,
but
Freddie Gibbs is a nigga. Yeah, he's up there.
I gotta give it Pusha T on drug rap.
Drug raps.
Like,
yeah.
The consistency about rapping about drugs is just impeccable with Pusha T. So like,
we got early 2000s now.
Like, there's only so many times you can talk about cocaine on an album and on a track. He manages to find like 12 to 13 ways to do it per album. I commend him. He got the title as far as drug raps.
I give him the title for drug raps. I would say though Rick Ross does have better overall songs, just because.
Yeah, he's a better song maker and better beat selection. Rick Ross is probably, to me, he is one of the top 5 beat selections in probably mainstream hip hop.
Today, yeah, I can say that. I can see that. The reason why I keep Pusha T up there is just because I don't know. For some reason, this rap stick to my lips a lot more. Probably at the end of the day, than Rick Ross's do. But Rick Ross does spit, so I'm not taking away anything from that. But I would say, so what's Pusha T's best album?
My Name Is My Name.
Yeah, that's the best album.
Like either that or Daytona, but
what I honestly think
I'm
that
going with the Clips days. What was the?
Lord Weller.
Yeah.
Lord Weller was heavy. Yeah, that's super heavy. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. What's Rick Ross' best album?
God forgives and I don't. Maybe Teflon Don.
What y'all think Rick Ross' best album is? Fucking the reason why I'm putting this up there, but the reason why I keep Pusha T up there is because even though Rick Ross probably has better overall songs and all of that shit, I think I still listen to Pusha T probably more. At the end of the day, his albums and all this shit, I think he's in my rotation a little bit more than Rick Ross.
Who you say got the better group?
Let's see, MMG was good music. Who's still in good music right now? Is Big Sean's not in good music anymore?
That's questions. Okay, how are we gonna count this? They have to be like officially good music, or they like figures in good music. Because from there you can count.
We'll say
people for good
music. We'll
music.
go with affiliates right now because I don't know the exact motherfuckers off the top of my head.
If we doing affiliates, I give it to good music.
Let me see, good music. Big Sean, Common, Cudi, J. Cole's affiliate.
Not as much though.
Nah, probably not as much.
Travis, Chance, Kanye.
Chance.
He's not in good music, but he's always around. So
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, MMG, let's see. What's that? Meek up there. Wale. Omarion was at one point. Omarion had a couple hits on there.
So he got dropped from Young Money. One of the coldest days ever.
Omarion was on Young
He
Money.
got dropped.
Yeah,
He got dropped so quick. The Bedrock joint is what got him dropped. That shit's so funny.
Bedrock got Omarion drop?
Yeah, he was originally on Bedrock.
What?
Yeah.
And then like I think it's because he previewed it. Like
Oh.
he was like, yeah, new Young Money track. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it, Bedrock. And then
I don't remember that
they
shit.
was like, all right, we're gonna try to preview that right now. So you're not on it.
Damn! That's what really happened. I don't remember that.
They called Lloyd the next day and was like that. Right? They called Lloyd, bro.
That shit happened quick.
Yo, who y'all think better, Lloyd or Omarion?
Omarion.
What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
Omarion got to dance.
I don't know. When it comes to like strictly music, I might go
Lloyd.
But Lloyd got hit, bro.
Yeah.
Southside my shit, bro.
A lot of Southern niggas fuck with Lloyd. But think about it, Omarion got some hits too.
What are you
Because
talking about?
I act like Omarion.
I'm just talking
I think
like
he
you
got
asking me how
BTK.
who I feel is better.
Even then,
I'm talking about hits.
Nah, I mean,
What does Omarion
honestly,
have that can compete with Players Prayer? That shit was deep.
He still got
Anything
dance
on
moves.
there.
Ice Touch, Entourage.
bro.
Exactly, bro.
Entourage.
Players Prayer? That shit.
Entourage is better.
As a song, though, I feel like Entourage is better. Though.
But he wasn't like on
As
that.
an overall song.
Pretty boy dancing. You know
Entourage.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, over the overall song.
We gonna have to agree to disagree.
All right,
I
that's
can't say you're tripping.
Man, hold on. No, Omarion. Hold on. So Omarion got Icebox. We ain't gonna act like Icebox ain't make any nigga cry.
I
at one
think
point.
it's touch, like for real. I think touch is better than everything.
Oh yeah, bro. And the dance moves. We ain't gonna act like we shut shit down, son.
Ain't no better than
I'm still
Entourage.
learning those moves.
Nah,
But-
bro. For real, Entourage was ugly. Hold on.
Hey, what's that Lloyd joint? Wayne? What's that Lloyd
song?
joint? Wayne joint?
You.
You or
Shit.
you got another joint too. You got another joint with Wayne.
And she wasn't 5'2" though.
She do have. He does have no.
Man, look. A lot of Southern niggas fuck with Lloyd. Currency got a bunch of hits for Lloyd. A couple hits for Lloyd. I ain't gonna say a bunch. But yeah, I would say at the end of the day, you know, Omarion was definitely bigger. Lloyd probably.
I don't know about definitely bigger.
Yes.
He's not. I don't think he's bigger than like.
You don't think
I
Omarion's bigger than Lloyd?
think B2K and Omarion was bigger.
I don't know. I think
Because when I'm talking about Omarion, I'm including the B2K career.
I mean, you have to, though.
How many hits they have on
you
their
don't
own?
have to, but even when you went solo,
he was their biggest.
He's the lead singer for the
Yeah, he was their lead.
we're gonna have
So-
to make this debate for another.
How
day.
many hits they have on their own? Omarion and Lloyd.
Probably about the same amount, honestly.
No. What's the Lloyd
I
he got
can't
by
do that on
himself?
top of my head right now, but
What's the Lloyd
I
he
can
got by
count
himself?
Marion probably.
Lloyd got a couple. I can't think of none off the top, but bro was popping for a couple.
Southside, you. What's that? What's that one?
Go ahead, get it, shorty too.
Yeah.
Get
That
it,
was a
shorty.
hit. That was a hit. It was.
Get it, shorty was my shit. I ain't gonna lie, yo.
What was that one with the?
But
They
what's
had
the-
the video and it was like kind of futuristic video. It was like,
I don't
I
know.
think I just want to be your man. That was a good one. I think that's what it was.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
named.
That was
we
five.
just named more hits than Omarion by himself.
But that-
Hold on.
There's a Mario.
Let me think about. But those
Those
are
gotta be the lead, though. Those gotta be the lead.
Those are all
He did that joint with Chris Brown and Aiko. He killed that
Oh, you're
shit.
supposed to be.
That's his song, right? Yes. Yeah, that's five, nigga.
How many
And
of them are
MIA, that's six. All
MIA.
right, Omarion. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Mario. Come on, nigga. I know you got another one. Shit,
See, I think Lloyd got.
what's the short I love?
Lloyd still chopping hits. Yeah.
Man, Lloyd got caramel. I'm about to sing this shit out.
Lay it down.
Yeah, come on, man.
But what the fuck?
Like I was saying, at the end of the day,
All around the world, girls all around the world.
Tomorrow.
Yes, love me tomorrow. Oh my god! All right, that's seven.
Well,
All right.
I ain't even heard that.
Nah, it's a hit, man.
Cassie Message on
I don't know
the
about that one.
Cash, yeah, he is on that. Just because you don't know it, don't mean nothing. It's Cap. He's out the park.
that's true, man. So Mario is
Square
better.
outside.
So yeah, Good Music got a better cast than MMG. That was the original conversation. So.
Oh no, the MMG had a Mario song. No, based on that conversation.
We would give it to MMG.
yeah. Shout out
I
to
mean, me and
B2K.
Shiny right now.
But did B2K just sell out their tour?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah, it's over for y'all niggas. Mario shutting it down all summer. But
Lloyd and Richmond. I'm showing this man love. He coming to Richmond. What, this weekend?
For real?
So the Richmond jump.
Stole song?
Yeah, that jump.
That's different? What is it?
Soon. Maybe have it on the radio.
Okay.
man, look, I saw B2K concert in 2002. Busta Rhymes was there.
Oh, shit.
Diddy was there. I think Ja Rule was there. It was one of them summer jam type concerts that they used to do back in the day. I still remember that. B2K brought a couch out on stage, pulled like 4 bitches out the crowd, put them on the couch, and then we just circling them out and singing the whole time. That shit was heavy.
I got the old Mario on version. That right.
Play that shit. I want to hear it real quick. I never knew that was a thing. I never knew he was on Young Money for 5 minutes. Oh yeah, they had to change this.
Oh, so Lloyd better.
Game set.
Oh, my kidneys.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
goddamn.
That's right. Alright, Lloyd had a better version of Bad Rock. He probably should have got off Young Money with that one. So it's a good thing he went to MMG. Because when they dropped them the little collab tapes, he was probably doing some better shit than that. I ain't never heard that in my life though.
Didn't
I ain't never
Mario
heard
sing Break Up?
No, that was Mario. With Gucci?
Yeah, that was Mario.
Yeah, it's Mario.
Okay. Mario versus Mario.
Mario got it.
Mario got you on
Who's the
four
real
hits.
king of R&B? That's the real question.